Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about yet another case. I don't know, I'm really starting to think that we need to make our own militia at this point against the pedophiles because it seems like a lot of them are getting away with some shit. I don't know, I just feel like we're all building up to something and maybe it's time for our own pedo hunting. No, that's actually probably a terrible idea, so I take it back until we have the right infrastructure. Chicago veterinarian and dog show judge charged with distributing child porn as depraved dating app messages detailed his plans to rape the infant he and his husband are expecting via surrogate. So the reason I'm using Daily Mail is I'll link the other sources down below. They have way less information. A lot of them are pretty short articles as well. So I did fact check via the other sources that everything in this makes sense, but this has more. So we have to take it with a grain of salt as usual. The thing about cases like this, and we're gonna get into it in a second, but the fact that this guy is gay or at least is married to another man, that is going to cause so much fucking mayhem because all the people who have an agenda against the LGBTQ plus generally, it's going to be a problem, but especially people who have an agenda against the gays adopting or against the non-straights, let's say, because again, I don't know, maybe they're bi. These are the examples that get used against gay people / non-straight people adopting children or having surrogates or whatever it is that involves them having a child in their family, right? So like obviously this guy doesn't represent every single gay person, but we know full well that this is a great story to use to be like, oh, should gay people actually be allowed to have surrogates, blah, blah, blah. And they use examples like this. So that was long-winded, but I think you guys get where I'm coming from. A Chicago veterinarian and dog breeder was busted in an FBI sting for sharing child pornography and making disturbing comments about his soon-to-be-born son. Adam Strafford King, a veterinary ophthalmologist from Elburn, was charged with 1 count of knowingly distributing child pornography following a months-long investigation. The Elburn man has a history of viewing explicit images of children dating back to at least 2017, according to court documents. The charges stem from an incident beginning in September 2023 when King began communicating with a New York man through the gay dating app Scruff. He and the man spoke interchangeably on the app and encrypted messaging service Telegram, with King using the handle perv she dude, Chicago, I don't fucking know, but yeah, Chicago, I'm assuming. So that's a good look for you, the child pornography, and then you have perv literally in your handle. That's okay. In disturbing messages to an informant based in New York, whose account was later taken over by the FBI, King expressed his desire to sexually assault his unborn son and shared photos of baby clothes. We've talked about a lot of creepy, depraved, disgusting, makes you lose faith in humanity type shit on here. I think that's really our bread and butter. The concept of a pedophile talking about how they want to rape a child that's their soon-to-be child, like the surrogate is carrying it for them in order for this to be their child, their son or daughter, and you're talking about what you want to do to them, and you're fetishizing their clothing so much that you're just gonna send that to the informant when you're talking about the fact that you want to rape your unborn child. That really might take the cake. The goosebumps I have right now just saying all of that out loud, holy shit. Because also, it sounds like you're basically getting a baby made so you can abuse it. You're going through surrogacy. So you've thought about this, you wanted to have a child. Was this the purpose the whole time? To have like a victim in-house, basically? I feel like I shouldn't be thinking that way, but also I don't know what other conclusion I'm supposed to get to here. Do you guys know? If someone knows, I wouldn't love to know, but I would like to know, I guess. In those communications, King indicated that both men identified as pervs. Please, Lord God, I cannot have another war like the MAP war. Do you guys remember minor attracted people? I can't go back to that. I can't do that again. I cannot go through delusional pedophiles who are just trying to find a different name for being what? Oh yeah, a pedophile. Like being a perv, what? Okay, according to the FBI, the term is often used to describe someone with an interest in pedophilia. I told you guys we have a new term. New term just dropped, except the term already has a meaning and wasn't supposed to include this necessarily. King discussed his interest in underage children on several occasions. In one message, he professed that Single digits, meaning children under the age of 10, were his quote-unquote fave. The veterinarian clarified that he had a liking for boys and girls aged 0 to 9, but preferred boys. The FBI discovered the New Yorker's messages with King in October 23 after executing a search warrant on his electric devices. The agency was ultimately given control over the accounts, with a covert agent assuming the role of the New York man. Thank God someone's stepping in. Thank God New York man got taken over by some random agent, but Jesus Christ. Also, I have to say, the audacity that a lot of these quote-unquote pervs have is insane to me, because opening up to anyone, even if they say they're part of your community, I'm like, do you not think the cops spend any time on here? / do you not think that there are some potential, even people who don't work with the police, like some rando like me, if someone came and told me, hey, guess what, I have these perverse inclinations, interests, whatever, I'm gonna tell the cops. So it's like, how do you just trust someone and assume that they actually are from the community you're from? Like, even if I say I'm part of a community, that doesn't make it true. King wrote extensively about his experience abusing children. In a November 2023 message, he described himself as an uncle, adding, I play with nephews and nieces, I've done almost everything. He described how he would sedate the children before abusing them, writing, I generally use Benadryl, noting that it provides a wide safety margin and I usually double an adult dose. King also gave several clues about his identity, including that he and his husband were expecting a child in the spring through a surrogate. I might need to actually have a seat for this one because Jesus, this doesn't change up anything for you guys, but I feel like this is taking it out of me. This is just horrific. He clarified that his husband, Lucas, was a non-perv or not sexually attracted to children. Okay, but can you actually imagine dating someone or, you know, just being at a serious point in a relationship with someone and then finding out that they're quote-unquote pervs, in the meaning of pervs here, aka pedophiles? I wonder when the husband found out that King is a pedophile. Because, like, if he found out early on and he stayed, that's fucked up. Finding out later on and staying is also fucked up, but I can understand why you'd have more difficulty outing them to the police, right? Because there's still, for most people, there still is that complicated, I know they're wrong, but also I love them and I've known them for this. There's always that complicated ethical shit, which in this case, it's pretty clear what needs to be done. He needed to go to the police immediately as soon as this person told him, hey, I'm interested in this. But it would be so fucked up if it happened early on and the husband stayed with him and they actually got married with him fully knowing, yes, this man is into children. As if that's even an option of things to be into, because being into children is really being into prison. In some of the most shocking messages, King expressed interest in sexually assaulting his son after he was born. I love the idea of inviting a buddy over when I have my boy. Just has to be someone I can trust, obviously. I plan on getting my cum in him ASAP, the Elburn man wrote. See, I'm not against burning people at the stake. What do you guys think? Option here? Because really, the more I read, the more I'm like, there is no helping this man. And this is why I sometimes say I don't think you can reform pedophiles, because of people like this. You can't fix this. There is no amount of therapy and no amount of lifetimes, in my opinion, that will repair this type of thinking. Twice he implied that the covert agent should take part in the abuse. Maybe I'll get you to meet my boy, he wrote. Might have to come and visit my boy when he's born. On 2 separate occasions, King shared ultrasound photographs of the unborn child. He also shared a photograph of baby clothes that was attached to the complaint. The veterinarian also bragged about possessing a large collection of child pornography that he stored on his Telegram account. In subsequent conversations between December 23 and January 24, King revealed that he was a doctor specializing in eyes. I just love eyes, he wrote on one occasion. I don't know why, but that coming from him is just creepy. Any other person, it makes sense. That's part of your job. Okay. With him, it's just creepy. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he collected eyes in like a jar at this point. Towards the end of January, he finally disclosed his name, writing Adam here. At the time, he was employed as a staff ophthalmologist at MedVet Chicago and had been appointed the network's national ophthalmology department lead. King also sent a photo of his penis while wearing what appeared to be blue scrubs, according to the complaint. In March, the FBI executed a federal search warrant on King's Elburn home. Despite multiple verbal announcements of the FBI's presence, King remained in the shower on his iPhone, the complaint states. He declined an interview but provided the passcode to his phone. Stored on that device were several images that had been sent over Telegram. For example, the FBI discovered the ultrasound photograph that the Chicago subject sent to the New York subject, the complaint reads. King's husband, Lucas, identified the photograph as that of their unborn child and confirmed the child was expected to be born around March 29th. Lucas and King married in 2016 and settled down in a 4-bedroom, 3-bedroom house in rural Elburn. The pair met when King was completing his veterinary residency at Colorado State University. At the time, Lucas was a pastor at a church in Longmont, but has since moved on to churches in Illinois, including one in Aurora. So hold on. We have a couple. One's an out, accepted pedophile, okay? The other one's a priest who happened to just get into a relationship and stay in one with a pedophile, as far as we know. Aren't these just some crazy coincidences? I'm not saying every priest is a pedophile, but you understand how in this case, all of it is suspicious. Upon conducting a search of King's house, agents spotted the same baby clothes that had appeared in a photograph shared over Telegram. In 2017, police officers questioned the veterinarian after learning that he had uploaded 2 images of suspected child pornography using a Gmail account that was traced to his home. So this was something I was gonna ask because I didn't know if they knew his history tracing to 2017 because they found it now, or if the red flags had kind of been up since 2017. Clearly they've been up since in 2017, he'd already been questioned. Now this is the thing I wanna know, is after you question someone for a potential connection to child pornography, I know that there are questions of privacy and all that, but in this particular case, it's like if you're doubting that someone actually uploaded or contributed child pornography in some type of way, why wouldn't you have some kind of tabs kept on them? Like really close tabs. It's hard for me to imagine that nothing has happened since 2017 that they could trace, but maybe he's been careful. Maybe that's me being an untrusting bitch, but let's be real. 1 year after the pair wed, the Illinois Attorney General's office received a tip that a Gmail user based in the state had uploaded 2 images of suspected child pornography. Police traced the IP address to the home King shared with his husband. There, King admitted that had a Gmail address by the same name and that it was registered to a site he used to view pornography. An officer noted that Adam appeared very nervous and hesitant to answer questions during the encounter, according to a report. The officers ultimately determined they did not have a legal basis to search King's electronics and left. How is this not enough for them to get their foot in the door, is what I'm wondering. In addition to his work as a veterinarian, King also breeds Havanese dogs under the name Askin Havanese. Before charges were brought against him, he had been scheduled to serve as a judge for the 2024 Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show. The Elburn man received several character letters in his defense. Amongst his backers were 2 former classmates, his aunt, his father, and his in-laws. Okay, so your aunt, your father, and your in-laws, I feel like you might have a shitty relationship with your family and maybe they won't write you a letter. But for the most part, if they're gonna write you a letter, of course they're gonna write all the nicest things that aren't even necessarily representative of you at all, so long as it makes you sound good. One former classmate, Jessica Ward, wrote, "I'm so excited for Adam and Lucas to welcome the name of their son into their lives, and I'm confident they will be exceptional parents surrounded by a wide circle of support from friends and family." Now, this is the part where I do need to be slightly cutthroat in that I don't think we should let things slide with anyone. Now, I'm not saying this is the case, but the thought did cross my mind of, are the people backing this couple just backing them because they're gay and they don't want to seem like they're homophobic, and so they're not going to say, hey, maybe let's halt a second and let an investigation actually occur, since there are reasons for an investigation to occur. Someone merely being doubted for having anything to do with child pornography, the surrogacy should be, you can't cancel surrogacy, but it should be reevaluated. That child should potentially go to someone else, should be in some kind of custody, shouldn't go to them, that's for fucking sure. What the prior students say is so irrelevant too. Like, a student doesn't know their teacher on that personal level. Like, I don't know any of my teachers like that. You can't really think that a student is gonna write a shitty character report for their teacher unless they hate the teacher, and even then, they might not bother at all to have anything to do with it. So I don't understand like what these letters even mean. Like what weight can they possibly hold? Asterisk. What weight can character letters really have when we're talking about child pornography and the confirmation that some type of pornography was viewed via the email, via the IP? What are we even talking about here? King's father, John, a former law enforcement officer. So we have a priest and a law enforcement officer now involved in a CP case. Okay. Described his son as someone who was not deceitful, and he had an aura of decency and integrity. Well, if the aura's there, I guess we can pack it up, boys. He's been cleared. Both of Luca's parents penned a letter in support of their son-in-law. We could not be prouder nor more supportive of Adam if he was our own son, it read. In a world where dishonesty, divisiveness, hate, and impatience have become way too common, we need more Adam Kings. We do not need more alleged pedophiles. Absolutely not what we're looking for right now. It is unclear what will happen to the couple's child, who's expected to be delivered by a surrogate in Sacramento in the coming days. Under California law, a surrogate mother must convince the child's parents to voluntarily relinquish their rights to the child in order to keep it. So this happened in March, but there aren't any real updates. So maybe nothing has really come to fruition just yet. It really wouldn't surprise me. You guys can let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know what you think should be done for the child as well, in terms of, obviously, I don't think the child should go with this couple, but like, what happens here? If anything, I feel bad for this kid in the sense of, hopefully this kid does not go to this couple, but also I feel bad in the sense of, obviously the child doesn't know about any of this, but still, like, what a horrible kind of way to be born with potential almost parents that are like this, and then having to be rerouted last minute to another family or whatever happened to that kid. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons as always, and I'll catch you guys next time.